Madam Chair. We're in the home stretch, so thanks to the witnesses as well. I'm really glad we're having this hearing to get into the weeds as to why the United States has the greatest capital markets in the world and how we can make them more efficient. We talked a little bit earlier about zero commission securities. Many people, take those for granted in the United States. And just a quick one for Mr. Billings. Have there been any proposed reforms to our capital market system that would jeopardize zero commission trading?
Thank you, Congressman. I would just be careful that if something came about that drove costs back to us, then we would drive costs back to the customer. I would want to be cautious if somebody went after payment for order flow. It's a known industry standard for many, many decades at this point in time. We handle it thoughtfully. We balance our payment for order flow. We have it equal across all of our execution partners, so we mitigate any conflict of interest. So that affords us to provide the services that we provide and all the customer support and everything such as that nature and how we conduct our business. So we want to be cautious about anything that would touch payment for order flow in regards to that.
Well, thank you for that. Move on real quick to rebates. One of the most important aspects of market structure regulation is keeping U.S. markets the world's most liquid, competitive, and technologically advanced. I'm going to move to Mr. Kennedy here. If U.S. exchanges are restricted from offering competitive rebates or setting their own access fees due to rigid SEC caps while foreign markets still remain flexible, do we risk a slow migration of liquidity away from our markets to overseas jurisdictions?
When I first hear that question, I think about it and think that I could be clever and tell you, no, it would be a fast erosion. The truth is, it would erode. I don't know the speed, but I know that the spreads would widen. That I can say with certainty. And that we will no longer be sitting here saying the U.S. markets are the envy of the world. Right. We are today. We're attracting the largest IPOs. We are having global investors implore us to come and trade 23 hours, 24 hours a day. That is envy. And it's all built around not just liquidity, but it's other things that other congressmen have talked about today. It's about the trust in our markets. And I think any movement that's considered in isolation puts that trust at risk.
Right, thank you. It should come as no surprise that the technology underpinning our equity markets has advanced far beyond what it was when Regulation National Market System, or Reg NMS, was initially adopted in 2005. Accordingly, we need policies that match the speed of innovation. I'm going to go to Professor Battaglio, Dr. Battaglio. What technological advancements have occurred in the decades since Reg NMS passed that warrant revamping the rule to ensure that regulations are keeping pace with the markets?
I guess the biggest technological, just the speed with which the computers and the information processing, it's made it such that executing venues in order to prove that they complied with Reg NMS have to take snapshots of their proprietary feeds, because if regulators, and like the SEC back in the 2000s, use SIP data, it's going to look like there's just massive trade-throughs.
Right. Thank you. Move on for my last question, Mr. Kennedy. Are there specific equity market structures in Europe or Asia that the U.S. should emulate to remain the global leader? And conversely, is U.S. overregulation currently driving liquidity to overseas, quote, dark venues?
I think our overregulation is not a factor just yet. In fact, as much as we all want deregulation, I think we have to stay with the core principles that we've all talked about today, and NASDAQ especially. But I haven't seen where I need to replicate something that's being done in Asia or India, even Canada. I serve on some Canadian boards, and the truth is they're emulating us. Everyone's trying to copy us.
Can I just jump in there as a native Montanan and graduate of Great Falls High School, 1999?
I knew I liked you.
Optiver is headquartered in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. I just wanted to add that European policymakers have routinely considered whether to implement a trade-through rule similar to 611, and this may be the single place where Europe is more efficient than the United States. They have always rejected a trade-through rule in Europe. So that's one thing to consider.
Right. Well, I've run out of time, so thank you again for your participation here on that. Madam Chair, I yield.